Ilia Topuria moving up to lightweight. If he does fight Islam Makhachev, you obviously fought both guys. How do you think that fight goes?
Yeah, so it's a look. It just comes to can Ilia catch him? You know, that's what is, and he definitely can. Ilia's very, especially with his approach. He really backs his strike and his boxing. He really knows that he will eventually find the chin, and he's stoic till that happens. You know what I mean? He is on task, and he doesn't. You know what I mean? He'll go even if things aren't working. He's still going to try and find it. So I think Islam's going to be a tough matchup for him because Islam can be quite defensive and safe. I think he's going to know he needs to play it safe with Ilia because he knows Ilia is going to have that puncher's chance. But I just think them later rounds, is going to be very difficult for Ilia. So, but Ilia can, if he puts hands on anyone, like if he traps them, gets them where they don't want to be and lands a nice big shot, it's going to be game over. He can knock out anyone, even in the lightweight division. But yeah, I just believe that probably would be his only chance, just from what I've seen, right? Like you hear about him having really good grappling and you hear things and you won't know till I see that at the highest level. So if he starts out grappling Islam or stop and takedown defense and things like that, then I'm going to be like, oh, okay, now I'm seeing something that I haven't really seen. Mm-hmm. So now then my opinion might change within the first round. But yeah, I haven't really seen that. So I'm going to go with what I know. And I know he can hit hard. I felt it firsthand. Like, well, I didn't feel, actually, I don't remember it. But it's but yeah, it's again, if he puts his hands, he can definitely catch him. So he's just as dangerous as anyone in that lightweight division.
Yeah, I think it'll be an interesting matchup because I will give, we don't have to worry about, so Islam's very good about using his length and throwing the body kick. So if he goes southpaw to orthodox, he's going to throw that body. Islam is a southpaw. Yeah, Islam's southpaw, and then I think Ilia Topuria is orthodox. So, Islam's going to throw that body kick, and are we going to see Ilia Topuria catch a kick and actually run for a takedown and start grappling with him? I highly doubt it. I think, I agree with you, he's going to stay on task and try to get to that sweet spot where he can get the 3-piece combination, a 4-piece combination to try to knock you out. But then you got to worry about Islam's judo, getting close, closing the distance, going to the clinch, looking to, use the sweeps. That's going to be, I think, the X factor. Who's going to be able to execute and get themselves in a safe place to be able to outwork the other guy? Can Ilia Topuria defend a takedown? Because I feel like Ilia Topuria is a better boxer than Dustin. Does he have more power than Dustin? I'm not sure. We saw what Islam could do against a good boxer when it comes to Dustin Poirier. It took him a while to get to that, take him down, get the choke. It's going to be a sick fight. But when you look at what Islam's been able to do to some of the best strikers in the division, it's like, what can Ilia Topuria show something that's different? But here's the shitty, it could be a shitty thing is that if Ilia goes up and he fights for a number one contendership fight, which I think he should fight, maybe Charles, somebody, and then Islam fights somebody else, Islam can leave, the division, and we might never have that opportunity to see Islam versus Ilia Topuria because Islam has stated that he wants to go up to 170 and try to win the belt there. So there's a small opportunity that we might not, that there's a potential we might not even see this fight just because they both want two different things.
There's a couple of things I want to touch on because you bring up two good points. I'll start off with what you were just saying because let's remember Belal's fighting Jack Della.
Yep.
Islam always wanted to move up. The Belal thing, the relationship is why he wouldn't do that.
Yep.
So if Belal was to lose his belt, Islam's moving up and then maybe giving up on lightweight. Full stop. Mm-hmm. So so you're onto it. So it could just be Ilia fighting someone for the vacant belt. We don't know. So much can change. And another thing that I want to touch, because you bring up Islam being a southpaw. Mm-hmm. So with Ilia's style, again, with a southpaw, a lot of your shot selections and everything changes with a completely different stance. Mm-hmm. So I think that's going to give him a lot different problems. He's got time to work on those things, obviously. Yep. But I just don't think he's, I talked about being stoic and being on task and having that flow or that process to finding the shot, I think I will say this, I feel like he's a lot more effective on orthodox than southpaws. I'll say that.
Yeah,
I'll say that now.
You're saying Ilia Topuria is more effective against orthodox than southpaws? Or you saying...
Yes, even from little...
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yep, yeah, I agree. I feel Ilia Topuria fights better when he fights orthodox because that's what you get used to seeing when he fights somebody who's southpaw, because that's one of the things that Islam did to you. He threw that body kick because you're shorter, right? Like even when I fight guys who are taller and they go southpaw and they throw that body kick, I'm like, fuck, I can't get to him. If they throw the body kick correctly, right? If they throw it like, a whip, you're going to be able to get to him. But if I throw like a Muay Thai, like a boom, and drive my knee across your forearms, it's like there's no opportunity for you to counter. It's a lot harder to deal with, and that's what I think Islam's going to try to do. But then, like you said, Ilia Topuria is going to be like, okay, I'm going to have to eat that right hand immediately, or eat it, try to wrestle, eat it, or try to get closer to him. So it's an interesting matchup, and I can't wait to see how those two approach the dynamic of that fight.
Yeah, it's funny because he's our matador, right? Like Ilia's our matador.
Yep.
But I know Islam, their approach in their striking is to be the matador.
Yes.
So they even say that. I'm pretty sure they even say that in the corner. I think Javier's like, be the matador, be the matador. It's like bait them, let them do all the work.
Yep.
So they can counter them or time the shots coming in and stuff like that. So it's funny. Islam's really good at playing their El Matador, where Ilia
Topuria is different,
name, but Ilia's going to be the bull.
Exactly. I think Ilia's always been the fucking bull. Even when he fought you, when he fought Max, when he fought Bryce Mitchell, he's always coming, and that's why I think it's so hard to fight. Because even when I don't fight anymore, but I'm like, okay, where do you beat a guy like Ilia? Where do you beat a guy like Volk? Where do you beat all these guys? And I feel with Ilia, if you try to run from him, you're fucking yourself. Because if he finds you, then it's like, fuck, now I got to try to, it's like fighting Rodtang. If you ain't got a chin and you can't, good luck trying to beat Rodtang in a striking battle, right? Because he just has chin and he has the power. So I feel like Ilia, he's got it, his chin hasn't been tested. I feel like it's been tested, but he's willing to give a shot he takes a shot to give his own shot. And I feel like those are always the hardest guys to fight, in my opinion, with my structure, my skill set, because the motherfuckers, they could just keep coming. Like when I fought Rodtang, I hit him as hard as I could, and he just kept on fucking coming. I was like, great. Hopefully my chin can last to the fucking MMA rounds.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's for someone like yourself and myself. If people want to try and beat us like that way, like, trying out like, I don't think that is an avenue for these fighters. I still think now, even, people are going to think, I still think they know that their best chance is to catch me.
Yep.
And I think that's exactly what Diego is exactly. And I think that's what Diego is going to be doing as well. So I know exactly what you're talking about there.
Were you surprised when he vacated his belt, when he was like, I'm done at 145, I'm going up to 155, because I think he was trying to chase that double champ status. But were you shocked when he released the belt at 145 and now he's going to go to 155?
Yeah, I was still surprised that he did do that. I knew that he wanted to move to lightweight. I knew that if he was ever going to fight at featherweight again, it would be against me, and that's it. Like I was the only fight that he was interested in fighting again in featherweight. But I thought he would want to hang on to that and do the title fight to say he was double champ.
Yep.
But the UFC, I just don't think was going to let that happen. And the fact that he's committing to the lightweight, I think that gives him the opportunity to go straight to the title shot. I think him committing to that and vacating the belt, I think that puts him in a good position to claim that next title fight. So, so I think that's going to happen for him. I don't know, but I'm just going with that. So I was a little surprised, but at the same time, I knew something was going on because I wanted to know. They told me the date. They couldn't give me the exact person. Only 2 weeks before they announced that, I found out it was Diego. So like, I didn't find out till I was in UFC Sydney. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, what's going on? He's like, oh, look, we'll know by this weekend. So I think they just wanted to have a proper chat, and then that's where they would have made the decision. No, you know what? I'm done at featherweight. I'm moving up. So then I was told that it was Diego. I just was told it was Diego. I knew it was going to be for a belt. I knew my fight, the next fight was going to be title. Even after my losses and I had that big break, I always knew that my next fight would be for the title. You know, the UFC promised me that and told me that the whole time. But I knew that was going to be the case. I just thought, is it interim? Or I didn't know. So I was listening to Dana White's live feed, and that's where I found out it was actually for the vacated belt. I was like, oh, damn, okay, yeah, sweet, you know. So the next best thing, right, other than Ilia fighting Ilia for the rematch, the next best thing, Diego for the vacant belt.
Yep.
Incredible.
Now, if you guys enjoyed that clip and you want to check out the whole video, click right here. And if you guys want to see other clips from this channel, click right here. Enjoy.